I now would like to introduce our Ignatius Loyola Award winner, Charles Damaso, who will be sharing a reflection. Please be seated.
Good evening, everyone. When we first showed up on campus for the first time, we were anxious and excited about what our high school experience had in store for us. But here we are, after 4 challenging and remarkable years. The lessons, experiences, and blessings God has given us have molded us into men for and with others, ready to live a life of integrity and service to our communities. Our high school experience was anything but ordinary. While we were beginning to immerse ourselves in the high school experiences, 6 months into freshman year, the COVID-19 pandemic took place. 2 weeks of shelter-in-place orders turned out to become months of adjusting to a new normal, whether it be adjusting to online classes, virtual club meetings, masses, tournaments, concerts, and many more. Even though we were all physically and emotionally apart, we found ways to be in community with each other and lead in on our support system through sophomore year. Fortunately, as the junior year began, we all returned to Bellarmine for in-person classes. While re-establishing our places within the Bellarmine community, we handled various responsibilities throughout the school year, balancing rigorous academic course loads while expanding our involvement in extracurriculars, sports, and school clubs. Simultaneously, we again began to attend rallies, mixers, proms, sporting events, in-person speech and debate and robotics tournaments, cultural heritage celebrations, retreats, and band concerts. When the senior year began, we collectively faced the daunting college application process while embracing enjoyable and memorable moments throughout the year, whether it be intramural sports, Senior Olympics, all-school masses, and many more. No matter what was thrown at us, we stood firm in adversity. We prospered collectively, winning numerous accolades as well as awards and trophies throughout our time in high school. While the rewards were great, what we will forever cherish is the time spent building community and brotherhood. In addition to these and other countless lessons learned, what stands out most to me is that we are called by God. We are called by God to be people for and with others. We are called by God to be good Samaritans. And we are called by God to share the fire and the warmth of compassion of those around us. Living a life of compassion and service has been one of the many things I've developed a deeper understanding of during my time here at Bellarmine. At Bellarmine, I've had the pleasure of serving as a pianist for the Bellarmine Choir, contributing to the solemnity and the celebration of the Masses. Before my freshman year began, I was welcomed with open arms by the Jesuits and the leaders of our campus ministry team, Father Mario, Father Wade, Mrs. Adams, Mrs. Scoflo, and many others made me feel at home. Despite taking piano lessons from age 4 and having experienced church ministry at my middle school, St. John the Baptist, I knew that high school choir would pose a greater challenge for me, as there were other talented musicians as well. However, despite my initial doubts and uncertainties, I established strong relationships with faculty and staff members and upperclassmen, and developed the confidence to perform in front of 1,650 peers and serve my community in faith and prayer. When the COVID-19 pandemic occurred, I accepted a fantastic opportunity to return to my parish, St. John the Baptist, administering weekly music and virtual masses. I used my musical abilities to help local parishioners endure the emotional and physical challenges brought forth by the pandemic. Simultaneously, I volunteered my time in serving for virtual masses offered by Bellarmine throughout the school year, including events like the virtual Mother and Son Mass or the Santo Niño celebration sponsored by the Filipino Student Association. Eventually, as more people returned to in-person masses at my parish, I became the leader of a youth choir, composed of former classmates and current middle school students. I've continued to grow as a choir leader, fulfilling the responsibilities of selecting church music, facilitating weekly rehearsals, and leading the congregation through singing. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, I received words of appreciation and gratitude for my service to the parish community. Simple but meaningful remarks like, "Thank you for your time and talents," or "We really appreciate your service," really put into perspective the physical, spiritual, and emotional impact I brought to those around me. I eventually discovered that community service is a two-way street. While I'm positively changing the lives of local parishioners through a difficult time, simultaneously, I'm broadening my life's perspective on my purpose. Using my musical talents for the greater glory of God has become a therapeutic act for me. Music has made me closer to God, and I see His presence in everything around me. My peers, family members, faculty, mentors, and counselors. Although being a pianist and music minister is unique to my story, I noticed that my classmates were often serving in similar ways to me, using their own unique gifts and talents to help make Bellarmine and the wider community a better place. I believe that every individual here has the God-given abilities to make an impact in our society today. Regardless of whether or not we have found our true passions, opportunities will continue to present themselves to us. And while these opportunities to serve our communities may seem daunting at first glances, like Moses, we are called to heed God's will and be open to His ultimate plan for us. When we returned to Bellarmine for my final 2 years, our entire class had to balance academics and extracurriculars while maintaining a healthy relationship with God, family, peers, and teachers. During a rigorous junior year, I had a valuable opportunity to take Dr. Dalton's Christian ethics and social justice classes. On top of learning about the societal issues and injustices in our world today, I will never forget his teachings on embracing the goods in my life. As Dr. Dalton taught us, the goods of life consist of finding peace, happiness, and rewarding relationships with loved ones. At that point, I began to understand that self-fulfillment originates from one's talents and abilities for the greater glory of God. Specifically, as a pianist for Bellarmine and my local parish community, I've continued to use my musical abilities in establishing a strong foundation of unity and compassion with everyone around me. Music, being one of the goods in my life, has ultimately helped me find happiness through the spirit of service. During senior year at Bellarmine, we all had to face the fact that soon we would be leaving Bellarmine. Although this was not easy, I feel that we all had to lean in on our Ignatian tradition and embrace discernment and reflection as we determine our next steps. In this respect, Bellarmine helped me understand my journey and the journey we are all on together. While navigating the challenges the college application process was important and challenging, senior year also offered me the opportunity to better understand who I am and what I am called to do. Specifically, Mrs. Portillo's prayer and meditation class taught me the importance of contemplation, as well as developing heightened compassion and grace towards humankind. Daily 5-minute routines of sitting meditation allowed me to become more reflective and mindful of the present moment, especially in stressful and challenging moments throughout the semester. Other contemplative practices, whether it be walking meditations throughout the campus, scripture readings, or even artistic activities, allowed me to develop peace and calmness in my life. As we transition into new chapters, may we continue to utilize the important skills of prayer and reflection in our lives. In times of hardship and adversity, may we always remember the important lessons and experiences we have encountered throughout our journey in Bellarmine. Indeed, my experiences at Bellarmine have taught me immensely the importance of service, compassion, and finding God in all things. My growth into a man for and with others would have never been possible without our fantastic faculty and staff, and of course, my brothers of the class of 2023. Throughout these past 4 years, our community has withstood various trials and tribulations, but God's guidance has allowed us to prosper in many ways. Let us not forget to thank God for all the blessings He has bestowed upon our lives. While the 4-year journey to this day was never perfect, we were all surrounded by individuals who cared for us and each other. Moms, dads, siblings, grandparents, aunties, uncles, extended family, and loved ones. We are grateful. To the faculty, staff, and our friends, we could not have done it without you. Henry David Thoreau once said, "Go confidently in the direction of your dreams. Live the life you have imagined." Indeed, our future is bright and endless. Let us always remember the experiences, lessons, and relationships we have established at Bellarmine. Indeed, everything we do is for the greater glory of God. The conclusion of our high school journey here at Bellarmine marks the beginning of a new and promising journey filled with service and self-discovery. The moment we step into the stage and receive our diploma, let us always remember in the words of St. Ignatius, "Go forth and set the world on fire, and may the world feel the warmth and compassion from our fire." Thank you, and go Bells.